to win both of its matches this week in the Premier League and arrives with good feelings. The Catalan coach has spoken with his players regarding the first match against the white team. The coach knows what it's like to face the King of Europe. He has done it on several occasions and knows very well everything that the merengue club represents in the highest continental competition. For this reason he has been very clear with his squad when talking about the virtues that Carlo Ancelotti's squad has. Madrid's biggest danger is not Vinicius, nor Bellingham nor Kroos, it is that they come out knowing that this is the Champions League, and that they are the best, without discussion. None of us have that mentality, but they do. He has repeatedly insisted on this idea. This message is logical since he experienced firsthand how Real Madrid equaled a tie in just 2 minutes. Furthermore, he also does not forget the 0-4 that he received when he was at Bayern Munich. Big party. We are on the verge of a great week. It is already noticeable in the environment. The decisive stage is just around the corner, and this stage is the one that Real Madrid fans like the most. It is no wonder, because these are the months in which the titles can be closed. So, we'll have to see what happens. This tie against City is for many an early final. The truth is that it is the repetition of the last 2 semi-finals, and whoever manages to advance to the next round will have many chances to lift the Orejona at Wembley. The match between Mallorca and Real Madrid is controversial, more than a week before it takes place. One of the most notorious footballers of the Vermilion team is the protagonist due to his activity on social networks. Real Madrid has not yet overcome the quarter-final match against Manchester City, but many are already pointing to the clash that awaits the merengue discipline at the Visit Mallorca Estadi. The team coached by Javier Aguirre reached the final of the Copa del Rey in La Cartuja, but ended up losing it on penalties against Athletic Club de Bilbao. One of the most commented images on social networks were Pablo Maffeo's tears, which quickly went viral and reached the Madrid sector. After digesting the defeat in the cup final, Real Mallorca's 15 returns to fuel his almost endless controversy with Vinicius Jr. Everyone remembers the harshness of the marking that Maffeo applied to Vinicius last season in the Sun Moix match, something that influenced the final defeat of the merengue team. It seems that, unlike the White Seven, he has not left those scuffles behind. His activity on social networks is clear proof of this. Aston Replica. His official account on the social network beat Madrid last season. These allusions to the Real Madrid forward, who at no time was a protagonist in any sense, serve to warm up the atmosphere ahead of the match next Saturday, April 13th. With this like, Pablo Maffeo once again finds himself in the eye of the storm of controversy, responding to Real Madrid fans after losing the Copa del Rey final against Athletic Club. At the moment there is no official reaction to what happened, but the clash in the Balearic Islands will surely be full of tension. Carlo Ancelotti has a mission for Jude Bellingham and Vinicius. The Italian understands that the presence of both players against Manchester City at the Santiago Bernabéu must not only be aimed at achieving a favorable result in the first leg. Real Madrid knows that what happens at the Santiago Bernabéu during the night of April 9 will determine a good part of the options that the white team will have in order to get among the 4 best in Europe. Vinicius and Bellingham have a more than important mission thinking about the first leg against Manchester City. For Carlo Ancelotti it is key. There is a lot of talk these days about the need to get a positive result in the first leg in order to arrive with some type of option in the city of Manchester to get among the 4 best teams on the continent. Newspapers are commented and filled about the effectiveness that the white team must have, but the reality is that Carlos Ancelotti not only sees this fact as an obligation to dream of everything in the Etihad. For the Italian it is key not to lose any of those prepared for the second leg. But the option also appears in his mind to cause this loss in a rival full of stars in its squad but with various physical problems that could be more than beneficial for Real Madrid in its final equation. Vinicius and Bellingham, the key to everything. Objective Rubén Díaz. Vinicius, Bellingham, Tchouaméni and Camavinga are the white team's squad for the first leg. On the Manchester City side there appears a Portuguese defender who Carlo Ancelotti has given orders to his men to constantly look for him to cause that yellow card that would take him out of the second leg on April 17th. Today he is seen as Pep Guardiola's most complete defender. "You have to go for him to see how far he is willing to enter or force," is the slogan within Madrid regarding the Portuguese. Vinicius and Bellingham will be the ones who will mainly have the obligation to cause this loss in the second leg for a Manchester City where there are no excess defenders right now and where the Portuguese is key both on an offensive level and when it comes to retreating in Pep's plans. Guardiola. Before the first leg of the Champions League between Real Madrid and Manchester City, Zidane has a message for the citizens, warning about Bellingham. Real Madrid and Manchester City have met in the Champions League semi-finals in the last 2 years. The winning team ended up being the one that conquered the Orejona. That is why so much expectation is being generated with this tie, which this time comes around earlier, in the quarter-finals, and many wonder if it will be the same as a year ago. Ancelotti's message to Bellingham. But on this occasion, Ancelotti's men have Bellingham, one of the best players of the current campaign and who can be the differentiating element in favor of the Merengues. Zidane's warning to City. Taking advantage of the match that will be played this coming Tuesday at the Santiago Bernabéu, the French channel Telefoot has broadcast a report on Jude Bellingham, in which they have talked about the Madrid player. Many testimonies appear in it, among them, one from Zidane who is very eloquent, and which undoubtedly seems like a warning made for Manchester City, so it could come to them. Bellingham is amazing. You could imagine what he was capable of, but he surpassed all that. I am a great admirer of his and I want him to lift all the trophies, said the former French player and coach. Even Zizou is amazed by the level that the British player has shown in his first year at Real Madrid, which could change the result of the Madrid City match that we will experience in the Champions League. Kylian Mbappe's appearance on the pitch continues to be the subject of debate in France. It even provokes reactions from other teams that are as unexpected as they are striking. PSG's last game left almost no one happy in France. The tie in extremis of the French capital team in the Parc des Princes caused, at the end of the 90 minutes, a small argument between Kylian Mbappé and Luis Enrique that has ended up becoming one of the images of the week. Not only the performance of the Asturian coach's pupils will be reviewed at the Poissy Sports facilities. The president of Le Havre, a French Ligue 1 team, did not hold back when he saw the starting 11 that PSG put out in their own stadium to face Clermont, a team that occupies the last position in the French league. It is the expression of immense contempt for the French championship, says Jean-Michel Roussier. This president assures that I sent a text message to Ligue 1 to tell them what I think about PSG making fun of the French championship. The French manager understands that PSG's strategy in the last game of the French league is a joke for everyone. Would not you agree? Roussier concludes by pointing out that it seems that many people agree with the decision made by Luis Enrique, the Asturian coach, thinking about the double quarter-final match against FC Barcelona, decided to line up the least common players at the start and it was making changes as the match progressed. One of those substitutions was that of Mbappé himself, who entered the field in the 67th minute. Jean-Michel Roussier's reaction to the 11 presented by PSG is part of the eternal debate of the teams that have more competitions apart from their league against the disciplines that wait every week for the match of the highest national tournament. Once again, the Le Havre boss focuses attention on what PSG is doing and, indirectly, on the reasons why Mbappé did not start at the Parc des Princes.